This episode is sponsored by Kerkering Barberio, your trusted partner in tax, audit, and outsourced accounting services. Serving Sarasota, Manatee, and the greater Tampa Bay area for over 50 years, KB helps clients achieve their personal and business goals. Visit kbgrp.com to learn more. Phillip Lanham runs one of the largest community foundations in the region, the Gulf Coast Community Foundation. The Business Observer writes regularly about nonprofits and leaders like Phillip. To read more, subscribe to the Business Observer. Go to businessobserverfl.com to subscribe. Hello and welcome to the Business Observer's From the Corner Office podcast. I'm Mark Gordon, managing editor of the Business Observer. Today's guest is Phillip Lanham, CEO of the Gulf Coast Community Foundation. Phillip, thanks for being here. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, we're going to have a good conversation about the foundation, about leadership and your career. Before we get into that, we're going to do some rapid fire questions. We're going to hit you with some of these. We got 3. All right, we're going to start with a basic one. What's the most used app on your phone?
Most used app is probably Safari, which is kind of a boring answer. The next is probably my Tesla app.
Okay. All right, so you're in that too. Okay, got it.
Yeah, since moving to Florida, I got a Tesla, which I love. So and we have solar panels on our house, so I'm constantly monitoring the solar production through the Tesla app, which drives my wife crazy. So I'm telling her to turn off lights because we're using too much power.
Yes, I bet. It's awesome. And you could control the lights from your phone when you're not home? No,
but you can see what your solar production is on a sunny day. Today it's not producing much, but...
And Safari, it's not if it's boring, it's just necessary, right? I'm on it a lot too, and it's in your pocket, so you got to find something out. That's where you're going to go.
Yeah, and just to give you a little bit of a more interesting answer, Instagram is probably my most fun app, a highly used app.
Got it.
I go there for my happy place. Whatever algorithm I have created or they have created for me, it feeds me all the things I like and nothing really that negative.
Yes.
So I tend to go there when I need some endorphin spike.
Happy place is a good thing. Okay. All right. Second question. We're going to throw you a little bit of a different one, a little curve. I know in your bio and I know from knowing your background, you're from Cincinnati and you're also a football fan. Okay. Here's the question. You have one quarterback to win you one game to get to the Super Bowl. Ken Anderson, Boomer Esiason, or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow all day.
So, I thought you might say that. Is that recency bias or is that like you're a Joe Burrow guy?
There's likely a recency bias in that decision, but also if you look at his track record, both in college and in the NFL, he's just, I actually hate when he puts ice in his veins, but he does have ice in his veins. He's just cool, calm, and collected.
Yes.
And I also want hope for the future, whereas Mr. Anderson and Mr. Esiason are in the past, and they can't win me a Super Bowl in the future.
Yes. All right, so Burrow's your guy. I like it. Yeah. All right, last question on that. When you're at your best for your day, what is your morning routine? What's your pitch perfect morning routine?
My pitch perfect morning routine would be I wake up without the alarm going off. It means I got a good night's rest and my body's ready to go. And I actually have some time to get my mind settled for the day and not rushed into meetings. Particularly this time of year, the calendar rules my life, and that's probably the app I use the most, is constantly checking my calendar.
Yeah.
But having that time to get my mind and get through things and plan my day and set my priorities for my day would be when I'm my best self.
Got it. Excellent. All right. Well, moving into a little bit about your career and the foundation. Just tell us, before we get into the foundation and what you guys are doing now, what your mission is. Tell us about growing up. We mentioned Cincinnati, Ohio. What was your childhood like? And lead us into how you got into nonprofit work.
Sure. My childhood, in the moment, I thought it was pretty fantastic, which I think is a good place for a child to be. As I look back, I was raised by a single mother. And my parents got divorced when I was quite young, and it really cultivated relationships and brought my mother, my brother, and my maternal grandparents very, very close.
Yeah.
And so our grandparents helped raise us and were a big part of our lives. And I think that was a big deal to the person who I became. Particularly, my grandmother taught me maybe not everything, but was an integral part of me thinking about the greater good and service to the community and giving back. So I'm not sure if she didn't play that strong role in my life, if I would be in the job I'm in today.
Got that. And you're with, obviously, the Gulf Coast Community Foundation. We're coming up on, I believe, is it 2 years almost? This summer will be 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years in June. I can't believe it, but yeah, 2 years.
Yeah. Time definitely flies always. So tell us a little bit for the audience who doesn't know, what does the Gulf Coast Community Foundation do? What's its mission in the community?
Yeah, we want to create a community where there's opportunities for all. And when we say all, we mean every resident in our service area, which is Sarasota, DeSoto, and Charlotte counties. And we do that through partnership with our donors. So like most community foundations, we have our own endowment. And then we also have donors who partner with us. So together, we can really make an impact in the region through grant making to our nonprofit community. Another muscle that Gulf Coast has is a strong policy and advocacy effort with our VP of Community Leadership, John Thaxton, who works every day working with our elected officials to make the best choices for our greater good.
And so you come to this organization that's had some pretty remarkable leaders over the time that's been around. And so what was your sort of mindset, right? It's not a turnaround project. It's not a fix-it project. And so what was sort of your mindset when you took this position a couple of years ago?
Yeah, what was really interesting to me about the Gulf Coast opportunity was it was in the stage where my last community foundation was when I joined it. And I wasn't the CEO of my last community foundation. So I kind of knew what the potential and what the future could look like for Gulf Coast, and already had one version of a playbook that I knew I could lean into based off of my last experience in my last community foundation. And it's a different playbook because it's a different community, different organization, but there's definitely learnings that I have from that experience at the Greater Cincinnati Foundation.
And is there something, I'm sure there is, but is there one or two things you could point to in the 2 years you've been here that you're particularly proud of or particularly happy or excited that was accomplished? Certain things that have happened.
Yeah, there's three things that came to my mind. One was we launched our 3-year strategic plan, which the foundation had not had a strategic plan for a number of years. And I really believe in a strong plan. Not that it's written in stone and we can't change it, but it provides clear alignment between the board, the staff, our donors, the community at large, where we want to go and what we want to accomplish as an organization and for this community. So I really believe a plan is critical for that. And we're halfway through year one, or I guess 8 months into year one, and really excited about the traction and progress that we're making. The second thing I'm really proud of, I've had to do some hiring of leadership team members, and as of March 3rd, I will have completed that process, and we've finished recruiting 3 new executives. Erin Miner, who is currently, well, I guess as of Friday, she's no longer, but was the CEO of Harvest House, is coming to be our new VP of Community Leadership. I'm really excited about her coming on board. She's a lifelong native and lifelong resident, and she's going to bring incredible insights to the team.
Yeah, Erin Miner, quick plug for the Business Observer. She was part of our diversions issue, which we run every year about CEOs or executives or leaders, hobbies, pastimes, and diversions. She's she's traveling to with her wife, every national park. And she's this amazing outdoor photographer. We ran this photo that she took of these 2 moose. If you haven't seen it in the Business Observer, it's pretty cool. She's a great leader, Erin, for sure.
Did she show you her water bottle?
I did not see her water bottle.
It's a National Parks water bottle and has stickers for every park they have visited on
really?
it. So she carries it around. If She carries around almost everywhere. So if you see her out and about, you can see which one she's missing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think she'll have a lot of them filled up soon. She's really excited about continuing on that path that she's on with that.
And the third accomplishment since I've arrived just happened in this fall with our Rapid Response Fund. After Hurricanes Helene and Milton, we created the Rapid Response Fund with our board's leadership in empowering the staff to take proceeds from our endowment to invest in the community, and donors joined us, national funders joined us, other donors outside the region supported our efforts, and it really gave us the flexibility to make grants very, very quickly. And when I say quickly, we made our first grant to United Way of South County, South Sarasota County, with 7 hours before landfall of Milton.
Wow.
Because we knew it was coming, and they needed the resources to provide that life-sustaining support to our residents who were about to be affected by Milton. And it was why I'm proud of it is our team learned so much from Ian. I was not here for Hurricane Ian, but the organization learned so much about our business operations and what we needed to do to make sure we were ready to respond to the community. And we had all of our partners lined up, and simple things like ACH payments, so we could make sure they got the financial resources they needed immediately. And just the grit that our team showed in that moment, and every day, but particularly in that moment, made me extremely proud.
Excellent. Three big things for sure. But you talk about leaders, and I was going to ask you, it's a really good segue, talk about hiring somebody like Aaron or in other positions for leadership on your team. What do you look for in leaders, Phillip? What are some leadership characteristics that stand out to you when you're hiring or promoting leaders?
I'm sure several of your listeners have heard of an author by the name of Patrick Lencioni.
Sure.
I'm a huge fan. I'm actually listening to his latest book, The Six Geniuses of Work. Six Working Geniuses, I think is the title of his latest book. I'm listening to it now. But his book, Ideal Team Player, really has resonated with me. I was exposed to it several years ago. And the three attributes of humble, hungry, and smart really is the format and the characteristics I look for in leaders. And it's not smart necessarily intellectually smart. It's more of EQ. Can they build relationships? Do they understand humans? And then hunger is obviously want to drive, want to win, which is incredibly important to me. And humble, right? You have to be humble and know that we don't have all the answers, and it's okay to say I don't know something, so that we can find the best solution to the problem that we're trying to solve.
Yeah. So hungry, humble, and smart. Those are three pretty important things for sure.
That's right.
Yeah. Take us back through your career. Maybe tell us about some of your mentors and what you learned from them, and maybe what's a piece of leadership advice that you've learned that stands out to you.
Yeah, and one that my first job in development or fundraising at my alma mater, which was or is the University of Cincinnati College of Business. I had a leader there. Her name is Patty Raggio, and I was, or maybe I still am, a person who always likes to be liked. I was very active on campus as an undergrad. I was my senior class president. I was very active on campus in my fraternity. And it was always important for me to have really strong relationships. And that's still important to me, having strong relationships. And I remember we were dealing with some interdepartmental politics, and it was upsetting to me what was going on. And she just stopped me and said, everyone isn't going to like you. You can't get through life just with these relationships. And I was just like, it just like punched me in the gut a little bit.
Yeah.
That if you want to make meaningful change in a university, in a community, you're going to not be everyone's friend all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't be friendly and respectful, but you're not everyone. If everyone's your friend, you're probably not making a difference.
Yeah, it is a hard lesson to learn. It's the flip side in journalism is, there are certain stories you write. If it's not ticking somebody off, it's probably, you're probably not doing a good story with it. But that's still a hard lesson to learn when somebody's throwing it in your face right back at you saying, basically, I don't like you or what you just did.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was actually coaching me through some interpersonal things at the university. She's like, they just don't like you. It's okay.
Yeah.
They just don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
No, they must. I get it. I totally get that.
Well, one of my top 5 strengths is woo. If you're familiar with StrengthFinders, and woo stands for winning others over. So it is hard, that balance of winning others over and people disliking you.
So woo, winning others over. Do you know offhand your other 4 strengths and the strength finders?
I would have to. I won't do them from. I won't get them all right, but one is achiever.
Yeah.
Meaning goal oriented. One is I forget what they call it, but like constantly wanting to learn. Maybe it's learning,
right?
And growth, and listen to podcasts and reading books. So you're constantly a work in progress. And the one that I recently have learned to value more and more is individualism, meaning that I can adjust my style to the individual with whom I'm working.
Yeah.
It's really helpful when you're managing a team or working with donors or nonprofit leaders. You can't go in as the same tactics, and style doesn't always work with different people. So you can shift to meet the needs of the person you're visiting with.
100%. I've learned that as a manager at the Observer Media Group, that different people are motivated by different things, and you have to kind of work your way through that and figure what that is. One sort of last question on leadership. And maybe this is back at your University of Cincinnati days, but how have you learned, or what are some techniques that you've learned as a leader to overcome setbacks when things don't go your way, whether it's, a certain project just didn't work, or donation, or it's going to happen obviously in everybody's life, but how have you learned to overcome setbacks?
Yeah. Actually, my last CEO that I had the opportunity to work for, Ellen Katz, really helped me master this, and it's cliche-ish, which is to learn from your mistakes. And I think it's easy to say; it's actually quite difficult to do. And if something didn't go right, look at that situation with a curious mindset instead of a critical or judgmental one. That, I should have done. I should have prepared this way. I should have done. So I've also tried to ban the word "should" from my vocabulary. Perfect and should are 2 words that I try to not to use.
Yeah.
And so really look at a curious, like, why did that happen?
Yeah.
What was going on in that room at that moment? What assumptions was a person making? Or what assumptions was I making in that moment to lead it to that outcome? What could we have done differently? So when it comes down the pike again, we can learn from it. So that curiosity is a big part of mastering learning from our mistakes and trying to stifle the judgment.
Yeah. Should. I like that's good advice as well. All right. So we're late February as we're recording this. Phillip, what can we look forward to from the Gulf Coast Community Foundation? What's sort of top of mind for you, the next 6 months, the rest of this year?
Yeah, we have a couple things that we're really, really excited about coming down. One is Heroes Village, which has been a work in progress for a few years now, and it will be Sarasota County's first dedicated housing for veterans who are experiencing homelessness. And between the hurricanes and some other issues, we had some headwinds, but we're very much looking forward to the ribbon cutting happening in the coming weeks, and seeing that facility helping our heroes of our country get back on their feet and provide not just the shelter that we all need, but the wraparound services to help them get on their own feet and be in different housing moving forward. So really looking forward to that. I think that as we finalize our year 1 of our strategy, you'll see us leveraging impact investing more. And our board passed one at a recent meeting, and it's not quite ready for public consumption. But the impact investing is an ability for a community foundation to make loans, low interest loans to nonprofits to amplify their work. So in this case, we are the last funder in. And it's all the difference between that project happening or not happening.
Yeah.
And we will see that we are predicting that we'll be able to use that tool for producing more affordable housing for our region, which is a critical issue for Gulf Coast, for the entire region.
Yeah.
So it's one of our top 3 priorities is affordable housing.
Yeah. Super big things happening. Well, Phillip Lanham, with the CEO of the Gulf Coast Community Foundation, thank you for joining us on the From the Corner Office podcast.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Thank you for listening to the Business Observer From the Corner Office podcast. I'm your host, Mark Gordy. This podcast was produced by Reed Corley of the Corley Company in Sarasota. To hear more episodes of From the Corner Office podcast, go to businessobserverfl.com.